Today is a good day for Agony. In the Agony booth, I am your co-host, Joe Dove. Here, Captain Joe Dove, no less. Here with a very special guest today. Of course, we have my co-host, VHS Jace, Jason Roy Gaston. Of course, Captain Nita is joining us from the Sci-Fi Queens. And, ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the way north, all the way up in the King's New Land, Michael-Adam Goodwill, Captain.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hey, welcome to the Agony booth. Boy,
I'll clap for you, mate. The rest of them don't want to, but it's all
right. We're super happy to have you here today.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so let's hop into it. Do we have a synopsis?
Do we have a synopsis?
The synopsis is...
While on a mission to a planet called Haven, Counselor Troy meets her husband-to-be. A marriage arranged by her father years before as the Enterprise encounters a ship far deadlier than any combat could provide. Was it though? It just looked like a space globe.
They tried.
Globe.
Or did they? I don't know.
Oh,
I don't think they did.
It was so tough. It was so tough to deal with.
That synopsis was more exciting than the episode.
I think it was. That's what I felt like.
Like, I'm going to put it out there. Like, this is really bad telenovela.
It was. It was.
It was awful.
It was painful.
It's all right, Joe. Just take a drink, buddy.
Yeah, it was so bad I had to cleanse my palate of it. So I'm trying this thing for some health reasons. I'm trying black seed oil. It was terrible. And it left this taste in my mouth. And that taste was better than this episode.
Oh, that is so sad.
Like, you know how motor oil smells? That's how this tasted. That makes sense.
Ew.
And I'd still prefer that over this episode again.
I prefer unhealthiness.
Yeah.
Joe, before we kick off this week, can I get into my segment? Because
let's do it.
It's been a long-running saga, and I've been doing my research all week around Teddy, so it's time for this.
Teddy Bear all.
Teddy Bear all exclusive. Look, it's been a bit of a rough week for Teddy. See, the cats are enjoying it straight off. They love hearing about Teddy's adventures. Last time we saw Teddy, he was the captain of the Sea Org boat for Scientology. Yeah, well, it's been a big week for him because unfortunately it didn't work out. Poor Teddy found himself. Somehow he sunk the boat, Joe. What's going on
Well,
with that?
I tried to give him
really
his sea-bearing legs.
But it's okay because he made a friend. So it's been great for him. So you can feel rest assured, Joe, he is safe.
Wilson.
Yeah, so he's in a beautiful island. He's going to be safe. However, maybe you might want to go get him because him and the ball may be getting a bit too close. So.
Oh no! It was great that he packed his cosplay gear, though.
Yeah, it was nice that he kept his uniform.
And you got to say this about Teddy: he'll hump anything.
That's true.
There's no prejudice there.
No.
If he can hump it, he'll do it. So,
That's true. This is true.
So we sent out a rescue boat. He
way.
should be back next week. And we'll keep you updated then. And that was this completely stupid segment. That's just a reminder to all the folks, the quality of comedy on this show. So.
But still better written.
Yeah, that's right. In that episode.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And I came up with that half an hour ago.
I think it took him 15 minutes to write this episode.
Yeah.
All right, so let us hop into WTF.
Yes.
Our almost PG-14 segment.
Yeah.
That reaction, out of all the episodes, Picard's reaction is exactly the same reaction I had at the end of this episode.
I will say, though, that Picard showed more balls in that little clip than he did in this entire episode.
It was Beta Picard for sure.
Yeah, he was very...
When Troy has to step up and take up for him, and he just sits there like, I'm just a little Frenchman.
Yeah, with an English accent. All right, so Jace, what Jason Roy Gaston, WCF did we just watch?
Oh my gosh, this episode is so weird. I know that this is early TNG, and we all know early TNG is
trash.
Well, it's the opposite of good. It's not good. But this one is weird. Even for early TNG, everyone is out of character. It's almost like we're watching a ship full of strangers right now. Data is unpleasant. Picard is a doormat. There is no chemistry between Troy and Wyatt. And strangely enough, the only ray of goodness in this entire episode is Majel Barrett as Luoxana.
Yeah.
And it's weird because this is the first episode they really wrote that was supposed to be funny on purpose, and it wasn't funny, except for Majel Barrett just brought a lot of charisma with her, even though her lines were mostly cringy. But yeah, it's just it's weird. It's weird and it's boring. That's the only that they should have just called it weird and boring.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our guest from the nerdy up north from his show Star Trekkin', my good buddy Michael-Adam Goodwill. Captain, what did you think?
This is the perfect antidote if you do have insomnia, because I watched this and I have not slept mostly this week, and I watched this and I was like, wow, yeah. Jason sort of hits a nail on the head. They were trying to be funny and they weren't. This is what happens when you don't include Michael Dorn. You get a boring ass episode.
But you know, Worf knows how to avoid the really bad ones. I don't know how he does it.
Oh, he had annual leave.
Klingons do everything good.
Yeah, he cashed in his annual leave on that. For me, it was like, okay, you've got Armin Shimmerman as a box, which is like, okay, so it starts off weird. But yeah, it was not funny. It was not entertaining in the slightest. If I heard that gong one more time, I would have probably put my foot through the TV. And then, the only, I can't describe it. This is the first appearance of Loxana Troy. And for me, wow, it could have been so much better.
So I'm looking at the comments and my mom's flirting with you already. So welcome to the group. But we'll get into comments later. There's a lot of new friendly faces. We'll get into them. So Nita, what did you think? What you just watched?
This is definitely the cure for insomnia. Okay. It was the worst episode of that season. It truly was.
Was it though?
Yes. That was bad. And the thing was that the conversations that they were having made no sense to the characters and how we know the characters actually are. It was like, who wrote this? Someone who never saw TNG episodes prior to that moment of writing this. And some of the lines, like Will says, but your father is human. Humans have been doing marriage. Marriage arrangements for centuries. Like, really show your stupidity level. I mean, this is just, it was all around bad. And he chose a disease over Deanna Troy. Granted, that other girl was beautiful, but seriously, I don't know if I want to die for someone. I don't know. I would not board that ship.
All right, VHS Jace.
Look, I had hopes for this episode as a start, because any episode that starts with Riker watching porn,
because
that's what he's doing. I'm like, I'm in. All right, let's see what Riker gets up to.
Okay, so I'm not the only one who thought that he was like watching the first act of something that was going to get a lot earlier.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay,
look, dude, eventually this was going to come up. That was the next part of that hologram.
Yeah. I thought it was weird that this episode started out the same way that the Star Wars Holiday Special started out, with one of them watching softcore.
Yes, that's exactly. And it wasn't even jazz music. What were they playing?
Harps, man. Yeah, they were playing the harps.
This episode, honestly,
young lady. Go ahead, Jace.
Yeah. Look, this episode, like I said before, it's really bad soap opera, and it's played for camp, as you said, but the lines don't land. Like, we're supposed to be laughing at Picard and Luxana, like that kind of, it's funny, she's over authority, but it doesn't hit flat. You know, I'm angry. I'm like, who the hell are you talking to Picard like that? And then I'm angry at Picard's like, why are you taking it like that? So, like you said, the dinner scene, which is supposed to be the centerpiece of this whole episode, it just sucks the air out of the room. I mean, the fact that the characters weren't getting sucked out of space, there was no air in that room, is incredible. Yeah, and the whole thing just felt like a nothing episode. You know what it did remind me of? A late season 3 episode of the original series.
Yes.
They got no money. They got no budget. You know, everyone's kind of given up at this point, and they're just trying to pump something out. So, and you know, if anything, the first season of Next Generation is that awkward puberty stage, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
you
true.
know what I mean? It's
Doesn't
just
know how to
never.
find its ground.
And I reckon by this point, even the actors were thinking, this show is so cancelled. Like, there's no way we're getting a season 2. Who cares at this point? But,
Man.
no, it's just, you can't even say it was horrible. It's just bland. It's just like, you know, going to a really great ice cream place and just getting plain vanilla.
Yes.
Basic bitch vanilla.
This is a basic bitch episode.
Yeah, this is very basic. I agree with pretty much what everybody said. This was extremely boring. It took me 3 days to watch it. Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it. I was like,
I did say to the wife,
Picard.
we are watching. I did say to the wife, and I said, "Why does this feel like it's longer than Return of the King?"
Right? Yeah. I felt it was longer than Titanic.
Yeah.
I found myself just like trying to watch it and then like getting distracted and then realize I need to watch it and then getting distracted again. I was just like, it's just not compelling.
No, nothing good.
It doesn't draw you in any way.
No. And then I'm watching it on the Paramount Plus app, and you know it's the new rendering, the high definition rendering, and I'm like,
4K
oh, this is exciting. It's the 4K. This is probably going to be better than I remember. Nope.
No.
Absolutely.
That was a 4K nap.
It just sucks in more detail. That's all.
Yeah, that's all it does.
You can really see the details of this being trashed.
4K mess.
Yeah. Oh. And what about that outburst that Deanna Troi has, like a spoiled child? Mother, you're gonna stop the bickering. It was so out of place.
It's the most character development she had all season.
I was for it. I was
like,
Look,
I think
she hit
it's
the
a reminder of how different she is in later series.
Yeah.
From this first season.
Yeah.
Because she is still playing, to me, a bimbo at this point.
Yeah.
Like, her character is very airy-fairy. And obviously, thankfully, that's not the Deanna Troi that we get in the subsequent seasons. But, yeah. And it was weird, wasn't it, in the beginning? Because she's like, she goes to transporter room and the look on her face is pure anguish, like her heart's dropped.
Yeah.
And then she's, all right, my responsibility, let's get on with it, kind of thing. Like, she gives it a good old crack.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's oddities. The whole thing.
Luckily for her, her boyfriend fell in love with space herpes. So
for it.
Space herpes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Everybody had a disease on that ship. So
herpes.
He's supposed to be in a ship where the people on the ship, the entire planet died because they have an incurable disease.
Oh, wait, but this happened.
Yes. Yeah, she kissed the villain from Hero season 4.
I wouldn't be touching
Robert
now,
Nedner.
Riker.
Well, no, that was before he jumped onto the herpes ship. So
Yes, that was because once he jumped into the ship, he couldn't
can't come back. Yeah.
Which I'm saying he left, so I will keep the jewelry. That's what I'm saying.
Oh yeah.
Can we talk about the best bit of this whole episode, though?
There was
Should we move on to a?
Yeah, let's talk about redeeming features. You can see Armin now.
Yeah, there's Armin Zimmerman.
Yeah,
now, I don't mean to be crass. Actually, I do mean to be crass. They kept the box, right? Do you think Deanna, She ever needed a place to sit occasionally? Yeah, I guess. I know it's crash.
Wow.
I'm just saying it's a long time on that ship.
Oh,
Why
my.
not?
Oh, no.
Why not?
Mhm.
Hey,
Why
they're a
not?
very liberal ship, hey? They're
That's
very
true.
far more mature than we are, but I would have kept it. No, I'm
Yeah.
not saying I would have. I don't know.
I
Maybe
would have
would've.
kept all
Maybe
those
I would've.
jewels, or I would have sold them.
I would have kept the jewels.
What's the point of having
definitely.
keeping them though?
But they don't have
you
money
wear
in the
them.
24th century. What's the point of
Wear
keeping
them.
them?
Yeah,
You
what's
just
the point?
replicate everything.
You
I mean,
make
come on. It's like,
sparkly
ooh, look at all these
earrings.
jewels that we can replicate right over there. Thanks for taking
Yeah.
5
Sure.
seconds to come up with wedding gifts. The Millers suck, by the way. I hate them.
Oh, they were horrible
They
people.
were pretty bad.
Horrible. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go off on the
My
Millers right
mom.
now. These are the
Do
worst
it.
possible people in the world. So Luoxana had no intention of ever honoring this bond, which we are never told even why the bond was made in the first place.
Mhm.
She had no intention of ever doing it. The Millers, a human couple,
Keep
contact her one day and like, hey, you remember that bond that we made between our babies, 25, 30 years ago? Let's get them married. And Luoxana's like, well, I'm a Betazoid. I guess I have to. Yes, it's Betazoid tradition. You have to. The entire episode, the Wyatts go on and on about how stupid Betazoid traditions are.
Mm.
The entire episode is all about that when
Yeah.
they're the ones.
Who
They are
started
the
it?
ones who are demanding that their son, who is apparently so unlikable that he cannot get a date, has to marry this woman that he doesn't know and they don't know.
Is
I
this all
hate
apply
this
for,
couple. I hate them so much.
is this all apply for just grandchildren?
I guess
Yeah,
You
I would think so.
Maybe they look at their son and go, "We're never getting grandchildren out of this fool.
I mean,
Let's go back to the pack."
Like even his intro, he looks like creepy vibe, doesn't he? He got that.
He has a creepy vibe.
Like
When
he
you're holding
slide into
portraits,
DMs
yeah.
very quickly. That dude.
Well, I mean, the mom, Miller, who was played by Nan Martin, she was in NYPD
great.
Blue and a ton of different like bit parts after this. So she did such a bad job. She never got her own like full-fledged anything.
He was the Federation president in the Voyage Home as well.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
Was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was.
Wow.
Here we
I
go.
never
Bring it up
made that
again. Have a
connection.
look.
Yeah, that was the Federation president in Voyage Home.
Yeah.
And
You know what
she-
he's thinking right now?
He looks
How
different
did
without
I
the beard.
get into a motion picture and the next gig I'm on this set right now doing this
Mhm.
episode? That's
But
what
you
he's
know,
thinking right there.
Wyatt's not that much better, in my opinion, either, because he's going along with it the entire time. Not once does he look at his parents and say, "Yeah, I don't know this woman. She doesn't know me. We don't need to get married."
Yeah,
yeah.
And
it's
if
like
he would have done that,
lost his ability to stand
was-
up for himself.
yeah, but it's
Yeah,
like,
he was-
I
I
may
wanna-
actually get me a girly girl out from this. Okay, I'll go along with it. You have to be my wife.
Now, if they had done a hillbilly version of this episode,
It would be a lot
that
better.
would be
Oh,
nowadays.
that would have been
Well, we have to
And those
we have to wait
accents?
for season 2 of that whenever they go to the
Yeah.
Ireland
But even,
planet.
but even just putting the portraits out in your quarters when you're speaking to it, it's like, yeah, I'm going to get married to you, but you will always be the silver medal to this.
Yeah,
Yes.
this drawing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, trash.
Yeah.
Trash, absolute trash. All right, Nita, let's go and see who's in the comments. Who's saying hello from where and
Absolutely.
all that fun stuff.
Yes. Well, first and always the best. We've
My
got
mom.
Cosmic Mom.
Hi, Cosmic Mom.
Hi, Cosmic Mom.
We have a new user here. Hello,
Hi,
Facebook
user.
Facebook user, hi.
Hi,
Oh,
guys.
Oh, he wants my credit card. Huh, that's weird.
Yeah.
And we got Lee Davis. Hello, how are
Hey,
you?
Lee.
And we've got Christopher
Hey, Lee.
Yeah.
Christopher.
and Devin. How are you? Oh, what did
Teddy
Teddy
do now?
Make
ball.
sweet love to Wilson the volleyball.
Yes, absolutely. Now,
Still
there-
more chemistry than Troy and Wyatt had.
Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
And I agree 100% with this comment. The Klingons to the good episodes. Yeah, that's right, 100%. Klingons to the good episode. Devin said what I was thinking. This was, in fact, worse than Code of Honor.
At least there was a fight in Code of Honor, but that racism hurts.
Yeah,
I mean, the
I
racism hurts, but like you said, at least there was some fighting going on.
Yeah.
You know,
It was dumb, but
yeah. And Lee Davis says he does have a sexy British accent.
No, I don't.
well, that's
No, as he
That's
says,
because-
very sexily.
yeah, right. He sexually says no, and that's because my mother said.
Yep. Give me a second. I'm coming down. We have Sarah. We have to say hello to Sarah.
Hello,
And
Sarah.
Cosmic Mom down here. I'm trying to find the one that Cosmic Mom was flirting with
Yeah, that's-
William, with Michael.
There it is.
Yeah, here it is.
There you go, Michael.
Has a
Cosmic
great
Mom
voice.
has a great
I always
voice.
wanted a cool stepdad. So if you want to come to America,
Hey,
It's a
man,
lot of
I
work,
tell-
though.
the Americans, they're weird,
Don't
dude.
do
What
it.
can I
It's a
say?
trap.
Yeah.
oh,
Be thankful that you're thousands of miles away like I am.
And Michael, you have a fan from the UK
Number
here.
one.
Number
Holy.
one. Michael
Oh,
Goodwill
nice.
fan
Congrats.
here.
Hey, we got a
Oh,
follower.
All right. Is that like a stalker?
We apologize that you have to watch the rest of us while you watch
Mhm.
I
Don't worry, this is-
apologize for nothing.
We have our own Dr. Evil on this show too. So
No, we don't chew on our kitty.
No.
Nor an our kitty.
All right. So are we hopping into Jason's rant or
Jason, do you have a rant this week?
Of course I do.
All right. Do I actually have to? Yes, here we go. It's time for.
Oh my. I need to be in big and make me big. I have to be
Oh,
big.
yes, I
Come on.
apologize.
I
I thought he said
There
you
we
need
go.
to be a
Sorry.
bigot. I'm like,
No,
yeah.
I don't need to be in Code of Honor. I
I
just
was
need to
going
be
to
big.
say you're going to go on this 10 KKK minute rant.
There we
you
go.
know?
Oh, okay. So, to everyone who declares that either Discovery is the worst Star Trek ever, or Enterprise is the worst Star Trek ever, or whatever new Trek in the future that will offend you on some level or another is the worst Star Trek ever, do I really need to remind you that Season 1 of The Next Generation exists? This season is not only the worst season that Star Trek has ever been produced, it's frankly amazing that Star Trek survived this season at all. That's not hyperbole, by the way, for as much as the gatekeepers love to complain that Kurtzman or Metalis or Berman or Goldsmith is killing Star Trek, Season 1 of Star Trek The Next Generation literally almost killed Star Trek. And I mean forever. We would have had nothing if this season had been even the teensiest bit worse, if maybe 3 less people watched. It's the zombie characters, the melodrama madness, the plotting plots. I would gladly sit through the absolute worst of Discovery. I have Battle Cat crawling on the back of my chair. I would gladly. Okay, hold on. She wants to rant now. Get down.
I can see that. Yeah,
Okay.
little head, yeah.
I saw her head.
I would gladly sit through the absolute worst of Discovery than the best of what's Season 1 of TNG.
Apparently,
Agree,
she
man.
likes
She's a
season
big
one.
Season 1 fan.
really like
okay?
Code of Honor. Season 1 is great. What's your problem?
Code of Honor.
I'm a racist cat.
I would gladly sit through the absolute worst of Discovery than the best of what TNG Season 1 offered. Encounter at Farpoint, 10 minutes of story stretched out over 2 hours. The Naked Now, I liked it the first time I saw it when it was a serious character study and not an excuse just to make the main characters horny. Code of Honor? Yes, I would love a side of racism to go along with my main course of boring. I'm not saying that you have to love all of Star Trek. I'm just saying that when you say that something is better than TNG Season 1, you're just showing you're basic and prone to hyperbole, because nothing is worse than TNG Season 1. Nothing. Ever.
Wow, well said.
It's true. Well said.
Well
Well
done.
said.
You know, it's true. Even, and this is my hot take, I don't even like really conspiracy that much. That's an episode you make fun of in some ways. Like, that's... Yeah. Hey, man, you just went on a rant for 1 minute talking about how much Season 1 sucked, and then I'm backing you up and you go, I actually like that episode.
It's the one good one. Even the Peabody Award winning The Big Goodbye, I think sucks.
Yeah.
My least favorite later episode is Inner Light. And people love that episode, and I'm always at odds with folks. Like, that was so fucking boring.
How dare you?
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to kick him out.
I think he's talking to
Kick
the
him
cat.
out.
He's talking to the cat. Don't worry. Don't
No,
worry.
I'm talking to the one who annoys me.
Play
more
the
than the cat.
flute.
All the
Inner
cats
Light's
just
boring.
scattered.
Stop playing the
Gee,
flute,
Michael, that
Picard.
wouldn't have been a great
Fire
view, I
stuff.
don't think. You looking up like that?
No,
I
no
wouldn't
more
do that
flute.
to her.
No more flute. God. No, put it away. Stop.
This used to be a well-organised show, you know, guys.
Yeah, it's still organized.
Things used to work perfectly. We had good timing.
Our timing's
I
good.
don't know
No,
what's
we
happening.
didn't.
Well, at least I can read better. All right, let's go to redeeming features.
It looks like gold. Tastes like gold.
It is gold.
Well,
Not this episode.
there's one redeeming feature to me, and that is when Space Lurch is so joyfully ringing that bell, and then it's like, "Screw you, everybody!" and she knocks over that, "I'm going home," and runs out of the room.
I reckon Space Lurch doing shots was the best thing.
Yeah, he was lit.
He's
He can
like-
put it away.
Yeah.
Like, they hate him. He's more like, I'm stuck with these people for hours. I've got to ring that goddamn gong for like.
At least
10
I don't
minutes
have to
straight.
read any of these lines.
Yeah.
Oh, he did say something in this episode, didn't he?
At the
He said,
very end.
Thank you for the drink. There's a very, I don't know if you guys have ever read the book Imzadi by Peter David, but part of it takes place in an alternate future. And whenever Luoxana Troy is dying of old age, Riker goes to see her, and Mr. Halm opens the door and says she's waiting. And Riker muses, "That's only the second time I've ever heard that man say anything." And I was just like, what was the first? Oh, Haven! Great book,
All
by
right.
the way. Again, buy books by Peter David. He's one of the best Star Trek authors out there, and he has some medical issues right now. Buying his books will help him out.
Oh, fantastic.
very
Yes.
nice.
Go and support the author.
Yes. So Jason has Roy Gaston. Let's start with you. What could we redeem out of this? What in the pool of filth? Oh, he's leaving.
He's leaving.
There's an emergency. He had to run.
No, but he's
Majel,
taking-
that's it. Bye.
That's it. Come back, sir.
I think he's made his point, Joe. Move on.
Yeah. All right. Michael, what can we
Ah,
redeem from this?
Armin Shimmerman got a paycheck.
He looks pretty happy about it.
Yeah,
too.
he was. I'm
Yeah.
getting paid,
Come on.
guys.
If Paramount came to you and said, "Look, guy, right, you're going to get $1,000 to be a box.
I would do it.
I do it.
100%.
Yeah, I would do it too.
Paint me."
Paint me.
That's
Yeah.
all I would say. That and Majel. That is. the
Don't
only
worry.
redeeming-
We're going to have you play an absolutely amazing alien character in a couple of episodes.
Later on, you're going to be unforgettable.
Just get over this. Spit out some rocks. Paint your face silver. You will be okay. Here is $1,000.
What if he gets residuals from us, all of us watching it? Well, there was an uptick in the show, the episode Haven. I wonder why.
I'm a
He would
Shakespearean
totally
actor.
get residuals from Haven.
Yeah, he was. right?
Absolutely, he would.
Yeah.
Still to
Well,
this
no,
day.
because he wasn't credited, so would he?
Oh.
He was.
Now
not
I
credited.
hate
What
this
deal was
episode even
made, but
more.
I think you're right. If he's uncredited,
He-
depends what he made, the deal he made. But
He was.
he's
credited-
still making money from season 1 at least, isn't he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was credited as the Ferengi, but as the box, he never got the credit. I mean,
Yeah.
But he had a
Cool.
lot of lines as the box, so it's kind of weird.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what's
exactly.
interesting because he had lines. That's probably the only other.
Yeah,
If he didn't have any dialogue, then yeah, no ways you're getting a cent.
right.
Yeah.
But he had
Right,
dialogue.
but-
That's for sure.
all that effort to be a box and got nothing.
And you know his face was probably silver for like a week.
Yeah.
Getting that out
Shit
of his
still doesn't
pores
wash
and
it out.
oxygen.
It's like Macbeth. Stains these spots in my hands. All right, Nita.
I like the only part I liked, I thought was just the funniest moment was when Data goes, "Can we continue the bickering, the petty bickering?" Because he was really learning about humanity. Remember,
Right.
That's his- and when he says that, he's like all excited, and I thought it was odd that him and Space Lurch are the only ones standing in the background. Like, I know he doesn't eat, but give him a chair. He's an officer, right? But no, he's just standing there, hovering over everyone else, while they're fighting. I thought that was fantastic.
I would have loved for Data to have responded to Picard's line about you're circling the room like a vulture. Well, you didn't give me a damn chair, Captain.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What's he even doing there in the first place then?
I guess because like they put him in makeup. Oh, well, I guess you should be in this episode.
No,
Just
from
stand in
a
the
plot
background.
point of view, there's no reason for Data to be at that dinner.
No, because he doesn't eat.
No.
I don't know. Maybe he just showed up and everybody's like, "Who invited Data? I thought you invited him."
Maybe
He
no,
just-
maybe
he
was
just-
cool with-
He just walked in, stuck an hors d'oeuvre in his mouth, and just wandered around, and the hors d'oeuvre is leaking out of his mouth. He didn't even swallow it. Is he
Plus, he
going to
was
kill
really-
us all?
He was really transfixed on Hom drinking all the time as well. And
Yeah.
I just love the bit where Hom just looks at him and just goes,
Oh, yeah. I got to say
Ed
something about that
dismisses
later.
him. Yeah.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
have to-
All right, VHS Chase.
Oh, it's really hard to pull out like gold from this, isn't it? Like
Mm.
it's really tough. I don't know if I have a picture here, but a big shout out to Tashiya's hair in this episode.
Yeah, she got
It
that
was
great
beautiful.
hair.
Yes.
Pixie
Like,
got that.
But
What's her name?
another
Bridget
example
Jones.
how it's
cut.
against character, isn't it? Because the normal Tashiya security officer who will knock you out in a second, really? She decided to spend a couple of hours getting the hair done?
That means though she
What?
hung out with the Bolian then.
Well,
Yes.
actually, do you think she could just stick her head in the replicator and replicator would do her hair?
No.
Well, then what's
It'd be
Mr. Mott doing
awesome.
there?
Yeah,
then?
No,
would
we
be
got
useless.
Mott. Yeah,
Mott
Mr.
would
Mott.
have issue
Oh,
with
yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
now look, honestly, the things that I enjoyed are actually not good things about the episode. I love the bad wardrobe of this episode, and it's horrible wardrobes in this. Even the guys in the other ship, it's just pajamas, right?
Yeah.
It's like what they've done there. They've cut off the sleeves off the guy and then just wrapped them around the chick,
Yes.
like so they
Yeah.
didn't have to make two costumes. You know?
I love the fact that Worf's chair is on their ship.
yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, what?
that. Yeah.
Go
Go back, go back, go back.
Look at that in the background. There's Worf's chair.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was just
Absolutely.
about to
That's
mention
good stuff.
Worf's chair is in the coolie
And the
ship.
and the
the-
stellar cartography globe is there as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But even the moment where Wyatt like goes to he basically takes one of the Starfleet officers kind of hostage. And it's just so poorly acted. Like, check it out. Have a look at this.
Time for your
Like-
flu shot.
Why,
It's like-
Ed?
It's
Why?
like Wyatt has touched one of his erogenous zones because that officer seems to be enjoying that one.
What
Yeah,
are
that's
you doing,
the wrong
step brother?
Yeah,
Is
like
Aren't those hypo sprays like you're not supposed to feel them? Because people get them throughout Star Trek and they never put
I
their
think they always
face.
feel them.
No, they feel it. They always feel it.
Yeah.
Looking at his
Yeah.
face, he's like, "Oh no, please don't stop."
He's like, oh wow, something else to put me to sleep besides
Yeah.
this
No,
episode.
I've been clean for 3 months.
Hooray! I'm out of the episode.
That's it. Yeah, that's space
Wait.
fentanyl probably.
I'm
so.
allergic to that. You've just killed me. I never saw him again.
Yeah, maybe that is why. That's why.
No, it's such an odd episode,
Episode,
isn't it?
yeah.
It's such a perplexing kind of experience afterwards. You do think to yourself, why?
Yeah.
Like, I spend an hour just going, why? Why?
Gene Roddenberry's damn lawyer.
Yeah, but it
Yeah.
wasn't
It
only
was.
that. It was like, why did I agree to do a show called The Agony Boost so I'd have to watch crap like this and then go on and talk about it?
Hey,
That
you
why
came
did
up with
come
this,
up as
dude.
well.
Like,
Because we got through Code of Honor and we
That's
got
right.
cocky.
Yes.
yeah,
we
we
also-
did. We did.
we
were
have
like, this can't
strength.
be anything worse than that. And this
Yeah,
is like,
we've been through a couple of tours of Vietnam at this point. We know the deal.
We also go on about Haven itself, and it's like it's one of the most beautiful planets in the galaxy. It's
never
got
see it.
heating. It's good.
And you
wisdom,
never
it's like-
see it. That's
Yeah.
right.
You get a backdrop of an LA coastline, and they go, "There you go." And it's-
Yeah.
oh.
Hence why I titled this episode Haven or Hell.
Yeah.
Because it's
Hell.
definitely not heaven. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
ugh.
All right, Nita, let's roll to those beautiful comments.
Yes, we do. Christopher loves Jason's rant. Now, this next comment I thought was
Now,
right.
did he
on
like the
point.
rant or did he like the cat attack? That's
Probably both.
It says here Kirk literally traveled through time to kidnap some whales, and it was still better than season 1 of TNG.
Okay,
Totally
Lee, let's get one
agreed.
thing straight. That
Voyage
is
Home is a
the hands down best Star Trek movie ever.
Sure, Wrath of
No,
Fight
Khan.
me.
you're wrong.
Fight
Wrath
me.
of
You're wrong.
Khan.
You're
I will
absolutely
eventually.
wrong. Wrath
First
of Khan.
contact.
First Khan.
Oh, no. Undiscovered Country.
Undiscovered
Oh.
country. Yeah, Cry Havoc and
Country.
the Slip the Dogs of War.
Yep. Now,
But I do
Cosmic
love The
Mom-
Voyage Home. It's a great film.
Cosmic Mom has a question.
What's worse?
What's worse, Picardy flu or Space Lurch gone?
Bacardi flu.
Gong.
At least the gong was gone. He was all getting
Really?
into it.
You could
Yeah,
you could sit around from someone going all the time. No,
Yeah, that's
no.
better than that fucking flute, man. I'm sorry.
Oh my god. I don't even know who you are anymore.
Oh, that flute.
And Lee Davis says he got him in a Vulcan love grip.
Oh, wow.
Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my! Yeah.
Well, folks, if you are new to our channel, please give us a subscribe. We'd appreciate it. We are steadily growing, and we will be in Trek Long Island this Saturday. Nita and I will be going up and down the rows and all the different rooms to meet all the friendly faces in Trek Long Island. And if you act quickly, you can get your very own Spectrum Sanctorum t-shirt. Look at that.
Awesome.
Oh my god, I want it.
There you go. So make sure you come hang out with us, and
Can I come
you
too?
won't regret. You may go a little bit blurry.
You got to do it, guys, because put it this way: most of us don't have those shirts, and we're on the
No.
show, so that's exclusive. It is.
Yeah.
It
Get
is.
a
Can you
very
get me some
exclusive
shirts
shirt.
for whenever I go to Dallas Fan Expo?
Yes.
Say no,
Awesome.
say no, say no.
Awesome.
Oh.
Well,
Well,
I'm
we
sure
do
that
that.
I'm sure that we don't have a graphic because it's just me. But I will be attending Dallas Fan Expo June 9th through the 11th at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Convention Center in Dallas, Texas. And if you see me there, please stay away from me.
Are you bringing Battle Cat?
I can't bring Battle Cat. She has a restraining order. I'm pretty sure Teddy's behind it.
Oh wow.
And if
We
we're
do
in the
have a
world of
question.
plugging, and if we're in
Yes,
the world of
plug
plugging,
away.
let's don't forget. You know, a couple of weeks ago we got to speak to this great man here, and if you
Yes.
haven't watched
Yes.
this interview, get on YouTube, get on Facebook, check it out. Me and Joe are awful, but Bruce is amazing, so it's
Yeah.
worth watching for that.
Yeah, we were okay, but Bruce really gave us a great interview.
And Joe, just a tiny little tease. All I can say is that interview is amazing, and it will stand by amazing. But we ain't finished there yet, so
No.
keep it close. Even people in this room don't know what we're talking
Yeah.
about. Joe, we'll
People
leave
that
it
are
at
part of our group don't
Exciting
even know what's
things
coming.
down the pipeline.
Yes.
Joe, there is a question that perhaps you can enlighten one of our
Yeah, man.
Viewers.
I
Oh.
answer stuff.
Facebook user says all of the episodes to talk about. Why this one? Now,
They
they're
don't
new.
know.
They don't know.
They're new, so talk to them. Tell them how
Well-
is it that these are
Well,
selected.
I
Ladies
think
and
they should
gentlemen,
keep watching.
Yeah, the be sure to subscribe. Number one.
Keep watching and you shall find out the terrible,
Exactly.
horrible truth.
Yeah, there's a reason for that, and you're gonna enjoy the reason why we choose it because we. Well, is that the next thing? Are we doing that? Can I go into?
No,
my
we're going to
little-
throw to a commercial.
Oh,
break
we're gonna
and
go
then we'll
commercial.
come
So
That's
back
right.
commercial,
and be
yes,
able to
commercial.
answer his questions.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
let's
yeah.
throw to a break.
Goodness me, I still can't believe these second quarter numbers for Next Generation. They're incredible.
Hey, Bob,
Yeah.
would you?
What?
You know.
No, I don't know.
I would.
Oh, Turner.
Wow.
That is unbelievable. Isn't
That is
it?
That's
unbelievable.
amazing.
That is the most sexist commercial ever.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have a fan theory that at Starfleet Academy with the guys and maybe a few of the girls, I don't know, that there is a ritual that they all go through at least once, or they try to go through, called losing your Klingon virginity.
Oh God.
There's losing your virginity, and then there's losing your Klingon virginity. and they don't ever have to prove it or anything. It's they show up and they have like an eye socket broken and they have broken ribs and like, are you okay? And you just go, and of course you're missing teeth. Like, oh, you lost your Klingon virginity. How was she? She was amazing.
Is that a category on here?
I'm sure it's on there somewhere.
Oh my God.
But you know,
I don't know what you're talking about.
That was on point, my friend. That was good.
You know, I don't know. You know, in the future they probably call it Mornhub because Morn owns it.
or the really dark version, Gornhub.
Oh,
It's just a bunch of things bursting out of people's chests.
Yes.
Lizards at home watching it going,
In
that's
slow
hot.
motion.
And the true owner of all of these is the Ferengi Alliance.
Absolutely. They've got their fingers and everything.
that's right. That's right.
Oh, gross.
Ew. That came out
Facebook
wrong.
user wants to know
Oh.
why this episode.
All
We've
right,
gotta
so
give him-
Facebook
Yes.
user, hopefully you're still here. Prepare
Let's do it.
yourself because now you'll know why we had to watch this episode of all episodes because we have spun the wheel of agony. Yes, there it
Facebook
is.
user, there it is.
There it is.
Just to explain,
It is glorious.
every Agony Booth episode is chosen by our Wheel of Agony, where we randomly put what we consider some of the worst episodes of Trek. And if it's not on the wheel, most likely we've already done it. So go and check out our playlist.
Or we
YouTube.
haven't done it yet.
Well, that's
And
right.
the Pale
But we
Moonlight better not
also
show
have-
up for next week.
With all this agony, we do have a little bit of ecstasy, and there are 3 episodes there that we consider a little bit of ecstasy. So, guys, are we ready? Are we ready to do this?
Are
Spin
we
the wheel
ever
of agony.
really ready? Let's just do it.
Like anticipation sometimes more exciting than the result. So, I wish you all luck. All right, what should we land
I
on?
still
What should we
think
land on?
Galron needs to throw up at the end.
Oh, ecstasy.
Oh,
It's another boring episode.
yeah. Back to back boredom fest. We've got
It's a
Voyager.
Harry
favourite
Kim episode.
We're going to give some Kim love next week. Kim love.
I love Garrett Wong. I
Yeah.
actually
Yes.
like Harry Kim. I think he was given a raw deal, but I remember watching this episode whenever it first aired, thinking, "Wow, this is boring."
I know Michael right now is going, yes, don't have to do that. Thank God.
So happy.
Oh, there you go. And there you go, Facebook user. That's why we do these episodes randomly, because we don't choose them. Fate chooses it for us.
Yes.
Klingon faith.
Fate is awful.
Yes.
Fate of the heart.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Going where the heart will take me.
Yeah.
Should we go into Aftermath?
Let's go into Aftermath.
Now, why don't you go back to your quarters? I'll be along shortly to say hello.
The most friendly, frightening thing.
I used to be disturbed.
I
about
wouldn't
that
go
little
back to
segment.
my quarters.
No, I used to be disturbed.
You would
about
know where you
I
were
got to
going,
admit,
though.
I'm a little bit turned on now. Every time. I
Widely aroused.
yes.
Oh my.
'Cause
Oh my.
either way, you know you're not walking afterwards.
No, either way, there's going to be no use of your legs for sure.
You're gonna lose your Klingon virginity and then your Garrick virginity.
Yeah.
That's one you don't walk away from, though.
I will teach you about the Obsidian Order.
Oh man. Jesus. All right.
Yeah, because this is Aftermath, we could talk about anything. That's
Anything,
a great
in case
point.
you don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, is a great point of it. Is I'm surprised Garrick hasn't come back in some form. You know, with all the modern Andrew Robertson being as awesome as he is, and he's still around, and just would have been nice to somehow include him.
It would have been
Well,
nice. Yeah.
no, it would have been, but here's the thing, though. I don't know if they consider it canon or not, but in one of the books, he does die.
Oh,
Well,
I don't
he-
accept that.
Yeah.
screw the books.
No, I don't. I don't accept
I
that.
know.
Is it the
I
one that
know.
he wrote
I
or
didn't
somebody
like
else?
it.
But in the
I know.
expanded,
I think someone else.
No,
wrote
it
that.
doesn't exist because
In-
there's 2 that he wrote: Ashes to Eden, and I forget the other one, and they're awesome. So read those books instead. And they're written by
it was a
Andrew Robertson.
Stitch in Time, by the way, not
A
Ashes.
Stitch in Time.
Ashes of Eden was Shatner. Yeah,
Ashes of Eden was Shatner. I thought Shatner was the Return.
Shatner was Ashes of Eden and The Return.
Oh, he did two?
Yes,
He
he
did
did
too.
too. Yes.
Do you reckon?
I've read all those. Mhm.
You know, okay, so it hasn't been in the modern iteration, this new generation of Star Trek. Could they slot him in something like Section 31 movie?
Yeah.
I think they probably could.
Because he'd be really appropriate for something like that, wouldn't he? He'd be an older one. I mean, does anyone know how long Kardashians live?
As long as the script needs them to.
Yeah.
But so does
damn.
Bashir needs
They
to
do have a
31.
long. They probably have the same lifespan that Bajorans do. I think. See,
Why?
my theory, Bajorans and Cardassian have more commonalities genetically speaking than they like to admit to each other. I think the planets are very close to each other. I think that at one point there was camaraderie between them. I think that they're a lot more similar than they want to admit.
Except one's warm blood, one's cold blood, one's green.
Yes.
Is it green? Is it green or
No,
grey?
it's
Would
a
you say it's a
grey.
nice? It's a grey, greeny kind of thing.
I think if they do a Section 31 and it's not within one era, we have to have Bashir.
Yes.
Yes.
If you bring it back,
Absolutely.
Garak.
Who I met last weekend randomly, by the way.
And did you ask him that question, Joe?
I asked him
So
a couple
you
of questions.
failed everyone by not asking that question.
I asked
No.
him, but he said I can't answer anything.
Oh,
Which means he's probably in it.
No, we don't know. He said I can't answer anything. Yes or no.
He can't answer it because he has signed a document of some sort with the studio.
and
Yes.
NDA.
NDA.
NDA, and you don't sign an NDA if you haven't.
If
got
there's
the code,
nothing
right?
to be quiet about, that's right.
yeah.
Mm. I mean, because they had mentioned him possibly being in Lower Decks, and then that was not happening. And then they mentioned him before and other things. So he did say, hey, I can't say if I am or not, but nothing's written yet, so I don't know. And because there's this massive writer strike right now, I'm guaranteeing you that Section 31 is going to be push back to 2025.
And that thing ain't going to go away for a while. That's going to be a long.
Yeah, that
slug,
seems like it,
writer's
because
strike.
now the actors are going to go on strike too.
I don't know if you guys remember the 2006-2007 one.
Yeah.
But that, if you remember back then, Michael, remember how many shows got half seasons, movies got pushed back.
Look at
Yeah.
Battlestar Galactica, where it was
Yes.
literally they sliced the season in
Yes.
half
Mhm.
because of the strike. I mean, I was studying media at the time, and it was like, oh, hey, we've got nothing to watch, and then it was a great way to sort of learn about just how unfairly some people are treated in the industry and how little recognition and little money they get for the work we see on screen. So I am 100% always
I think
going to
we
be
all are.
with
Yep.
the right.
Yeah, same.
I'm like O'Brien. I'm a union man.
There you go.
Well, the thing is, too, I mean, this is the rules that were set were almost pre-streaming.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we've got to factor in the last 10 years, the industry has changed so much, and the writers, like, no one has dealt with that, or they, like studios, will try every attempt to get out of any benefits.
Yep.
I mean, if Hollywood's got a bad reputation for its seediness and all this, and if you're not, they accuse it of being woke, which I think is ridiculous, but
Yeah.
either way, they have always branded with, they will screw you out of a deal if they can. Everybody knows
Oh,
that.
absolutely.
Yep.
If you write a script, you have to almost build your own kind of Fort Knox around it so it doesn't get stolen and repurposed.
Yeah.
I hope they
Yep.
get everything they're entitled to, plus more.
Yeah.
And I also hope the studios lose billions of dollars and suffer.
Oh, I was
Yes.
reading that they're losing $10 billion a week in advertising alone.
Oh, those are
Yeah.
rookie numbers. We need to drive those numbers up.
Yeah.
Well,
The
it's
only
only
good
2
thing-
weeks, right? So that's $20 billion that they've lost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the only thing I'm hoping for, it actually kills off the late night shows.
Oh, yeah, you
They
had
are
mentioned.
so bad. Yeah.
You guys, your late night shows over there just suck. All
Yes,
of them.
they
now,
are.
hey?
Yes, they
Well,
do.
please, guys, you guys in America, please do not send James Corden back to us.
Oh, no, he's going back.
No,
Oh,
we're
no,
not
he
keeping
has-
them.
Apparently, he's moving up north. He's going to join your group.
We gift him to you in a box, in Armin
He's
Shimmerman's box
honored.
full of jewels.
The American
Seems like such a
delegation
nice
thanks you for
guy.
your gift, but we are going to decline at this time.
We were returning.
Australia, your turn.
I heard he's
Nah, fuck
moving
that,
in right
dude.
next
We'll give it
door
to New
you,
Zealand.
Michael.
No, Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico.
No, that's America. No.
Hey, no, we're
You're trying to find a loophole, Australia.
I am.
Forget about it. No.
I was in one of his recordings, and it was night and day how he behaved, and he was like, "Hi, it's welcome," and cut straight on his phone, and I just
Really?
yeah.
I have heard horror
Yeah, I
stories
heard
about the way
he's-
that he
he's
acts
a
towards
real
servers
rude
and things like
person.
that.
I
Yeah.
heard about that. There was a time he was in New York City in one of our famous steakhouses in New York City, and he treated the staff like little poorly, and he actually had to like do a whole segment to apologize.
Yeah.
Didn't they ban him?
Yeah,
Oh,
they
please.
banned
The
him.
only reason he apologized was because it was all over social media.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
he
Otherwise,
got
he'd have
caught
been
doing it.
Welcome
That's
to the
not
Agony
first
booth
time.
where we're talking about James.
like,
Corden.
yeah. Welcome to the Star Trek
Absolutely
Agony booth. We're talking
Well,
about-
we had to find something worse than Haven.
Yeah, we found it. We found it.
We
for
did
sure.
it! Yay! Yeah.
Can I give my final thoughts on Haven here? Because I
Yes,
have like
please.
3 pages of notes. I just want to go over the highlights of things that I noticed during this episode.
Okay.
Okay. Why are there beads in the guest quarters? All the
There ain't no
beads hanging from the ceiling. They were like beaded curtains. We've never seen that before. We've never seen it
Maybe
since.
it was like a
weird.
Mardi Gras
Yeah.
thing. for them.
1987.
Luoxana tells Troy, "Oh, your accent reminds me of your father." And then whenever they show Ian Troy in a flashback in season 7, the man has no accent.
Exactly.
Picard acts like a hotel bellhop in this episode.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's
Just-
carrying the
He's just there to serve people, and it's like I said, it's bad. Wyatt has the personality of a wet towel. He's not offensively bad, but the fact that he's going along with the betrothal at birth makes him cringe to me.
Yeah.
I noticed several times during this episode, especially during the love scenes where Troy and Wyatt were together, there was a lone violin in the background, and it was so loud, and it was so, I don't know, I almost felt like the score was making fun of the episode.
Did you know with that score that it was universally hated by Rick Berman? Like the musician, the composer generally thought he was going to get fired for
Dennis
making that
McCarthy.
music. Yeah.
That was Dennis McCarthy.
Who went
Which
on
is
to do
outed you there, Dennis. Sorry.
who went on to do an amazing score for Star Trek Generations, I will say.
Yeah.
I've already said the Millers are hard. Okay. Data calls human drunks. Hom turns up his nose at the insinuation that he may have human blood.
Yes.
The Betazoids, both Troy and Luoxana, constantly talk crap about humans. About, oh, you're all so close-minded. Oh, this, oh, that. Beverly calls humans damn fools at one point. This episode insults the audience right to their face.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was such a strange choice. Another scene of Troy insulting humans because of their limited views, because she's sitting there saying that Riker's jealous. Oh, you humans have such limited you have such limited definitions of love. You're an empath and you don't understand why he's upset? That you're not a very good empath. Ian asked Troy, not Ian, I'm sorry. Wyatt asked Troy, "Are you sure you want to go through with this?" And Troy says, "Yes, my question is why? Why do you want to go through with this? It's never explained. This is a love story told by someone who's never been in love by their entire life."
Yeah.
Wyatt goes to see his parents and tells them goodbye, and then tells Troy she's beautiful, and then he leaves. Troy never picks up on what he's getting ready to do, never senses deception, never senses nervousness. She just sits there and watches him go. Did she know what he was doing? Was that just her way to get rid of him? I just got attacked by a cat again with claws. Ow.
In the meantime, our
Stop
buddy-
talking about Haven!
Our buddy Geek Filter's here with a great comment.
Yes.
There was a portrait in the Starbase bar in Lower Decks that looked an awful lot like Wyatt, which is weird.
Yeah. Wyatt
Very
here.
weird.
Wyatt.
Thanks, Aaron.
This episode, Wyatt's so boring. The Enterprise really does have the worst security. You know,
Mhm.
somebody's beaming away. Stop them. I can't. Has anybody ever stopped somebody from beaming before? I'm just curious. I'm sure it's at least
don't
had to
think
happen
so.
once. Okay, this is my favorite scene in the entire episode. So Wyatt beams onto the Terralian ship, and he notices immediately all of these portraits of him, and he looks at each one. It's him growing up, and you know, it's just mysterious, a little bit magical. And then the Terralians are literally just standing there. And they're like, hi, Wyatt. It's like they had to say something for him to notice that they were all staring at him. Keep that picture up, by the way. Look at Wyatt's costume.
Yes.
That is Mork's costume from Mork and Mindy.
Oh my God, it is.
Yes.
Nanu.
It was all the rage on Orc. I don't know.
So the ship did kind of look like a giant egg at some point.
Yeah, that's true.
Kinda
Yeah.
And did
okay.
they ever explain that connection?
I was
they
just
had?
coming to that. You stole my thunder.
I did.
Yeah.
You knew you did. Okay, so yeah, the connection was never explained. It was just never, not once.
Yeah.
It wasn't, oh yes, we're slightly telepathic, or oh, we bond to souls across the universe, or magic.
Something.
It was just, yeah, we don't
Something.
understand. It's happened. It's weird. I don't
Even
get it.
true love would have been better than nothing.
Absolutely. But here's I think the episode's biggest sin. This episode would have transpired the exact same way whether the Enterprise was there or not. All the Enterprise offered to this story was a stage. That's it.
They could have filmed it here with Teddy.
Yes.
Wow,
Film it on
more of
Haven.
a sex scene than
Yeah. Film it on Haven.
that actually
And
looks more of a paradise than that
it
fucking
really
planet.
does.
Yeah.
Oh yes, Haven. Look at all the no, they would have filmed it on the Planet Hell set, and it would have been like that red sunlight all around them going, this is the most beautiful planet ever, as the script says. That's all my final thoughts. This episode was
I also
butt.
think Star Trek is known to be the show that deals with social issues and big topics and does it really well.
Right.
And here you have an opportunity to deal with arranged marriages. You know, something the Western culture has very much struggled to conceptualize or fully understand. And they blew it. You know?
And
Absolutely.
if that was not enough, they blew another allegory that was dropped into their laps. The plague ship. Guys, the 80s were the time of AIDS.
Yeah.
You couldn't
course,
touch
yeah,
anybody with AIDS.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there it was, right there. Oh,
And they
don't
said,
let
"Nah, never mind."
those dirty lepers on here. They could have done a great allegory there, but it's like, nah, I just gotta go over there because she's pretty.
That's the lady I've been painting for my dreams. I gotta go.
I love you, Troy, but not really.
I really like the blonde lady that's got the AIDS.
I feel bad for the writer, though. Tracy Torme is the writer.
Oh, Tracy
Oh.
Torme, no.
Yeah.
Mel
And
Torme's son.
she wrote on
Marissa Torme?
Sliders, if you remember.
Yeah, it's a guy, by the way. I'm just
Oh, is he related
Is it?
to?
yeah,
Sorry.
it's Mel Torme's son.
Oh, wow.
He,
Tracy.
yeah,
Mel,
he went-
what was you thinking, dude?
No, just like Tracy.
Mel does whatever Mel
Like
wants.
Tracy who? Like
Tracy
Tracy
Torme.
Lords? Because that's
No.
what you were going to say.
No, Tracy Morgan from SNL.
Oh, yeah,
Oh my
yeah. But he's a
gosh.
nutbag.
Yeah.
However, I just want to say Tracy, that whatever pronoun Tracy decides to identify themselves as, wrote a great movie called Fire in the Sky.
You've
A
never
great-
heard of a man named Tracy before?
It's
except
an
for
Australian thing. They don't have that down there.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You probably
Michael-
laugh at guys named Randy too, don't you?
That's hilarious.
So you guys don't know anybody named Randy? Oh, man.
That's weird. No, of course. I was just making a joke. Just jokes.
I know.
But he wrote a really great film called Fire in the Sky.
Which is a
Oh.
great alien movie.
Great little alien
Creepy.
abduction, yeah.
Very creepy. Have you seen that, Michael?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
nodded his head.
Creepy. Is that Nita?
Do you get that
No,
down there,
Fire in the
Michael?
Sky, no.
Watch it. It's great.
Sorry,
What was
I
that
made that comment because have you already, Joe? Are you asking them if they have bread in the UK yet?
No, I didn't ask you.
No, it's just because you said, didn't you say something about Metallica earlier? Oh, do
Yes.
you guys get Metallica?
No.
You asked.
I don't know what your
English
music
guest.
preferences
You
are. I don't know
know.
what your music preferences are. It has nothing to do with your region.
I'm sorry. All
I'm
I
sorry,
could think
this
of
is
whenever
a-
you said, "Do you have bread in the UK?" It's like, well, I've seen the royal family, and we know that they're a little inbred, so it's.
Oh.
Yeah. I generally thought, because it's like nearly 3 a.m. here, when he said, "Do you have bread in the UK?" Actual sliced bread.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, what?
No, what it is, it's a long-running joke where Joe lives in this
behind
10-mile
the
radius.
scenes. This is behind
And
the
everything
scenes.
beyond the 10-mile radius is he's got to ask if we have air, water, do we have cars, do you guys get
The
color
worst-
television?
The worst was when like I was asking if you're a PC or a Mac guy, and it's like, do you guys have Macs? You
And
Rick?
I'm like, what
What the fuck,
the
dude?
hell do you think I live? like,
I don't mean it like that. I'm saying, do you prefer PC or Mac?
He lives with the kangaroos in the bush.
Yeah. Just baffling.
I want flat cottages and flat caps where I'm from.
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Oh man.
Oh, that's funny. There you go.
Metallica does rule, by the way, and I'm
That's right.
Yes.
Metallica.
First
Shirt.
concert
rapping.
I ever took my son to was Metallica.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was 10.
Oh,
I said, "Oh, you don't need that good hearing, kid. Come with me."
Oh, no,
I
stop
took him to go
knocking
see Metallica, and it was probably one of the best decisions of a dad.
oh,
We had the best
sweet.
time ever.
Very sweet, very sweet. Do we have a stupid Star Trek question today?
We always have a stupid Star
All
Trek
right, let's
question
roll that
because this is
beautiful-
a stupid show.
It's time for stupid Star Trek questions.
Remember, folks, you can always ask us a stupid Star Trek question. You too will be featured on the show and in this overproduced segment. Yay!
Let's have a look. Today's stupid Star Trek question comes from one of our viewers who's been watching at John Deranowski. Is that
Yes.
right? Where did Zephyrin Cochrane get dilithium from?
Yes.
Ooh.
I might have an answer for this.
Really?
What?
All right, go for it. Yeah.
It
The
is in
UK always does.
the UK. Yeah, we got the answers more than we got bread. Who-
I don't know
Or
what I have.
Metallica?
So there is a book called The Federation: The First 150 Years, which is acknowledged by President Hikaru Sulu. Comes in a lovely little display where you press a button and it's like, "Hello, I'm President Sulu," and you're just like, "Okay, loving this." But it details how Earth went through the Third World War, how they recovered and stuff, and basically what the theory is, or what it says in the book, is that there was a meteorite crash, and in that meteorite it contained dilithium. So they found this unknown substance and realized that it had great potential to be a catalyst to release energy between matter and antimatter. And this is how Zephyrin Cochrane theorized that we could break the light speed barrier by clashing matter and antimatter with this. I don't know what you would call it, like a go-between substance.
It's a nuclear power core.
Yeah, that would
Because Geek
enable.
said it.
Yeah. So that's my take on it from reading that they found dilithium from this meteorite.
I loved everything about that except the coincidental part. It's like, oh, a meteorite happened to hit Earth. Like, I don't like the random, because you know what I'm thinking straight away? Spider-Man 3. Like,
Oh, yeah.
that's what I'm
yeah.
thinking of, where it just happens to land right next to Peter Parker, and you know.
There you go.
I like Felix's
everything
answer though, that he used a nuclear power core.
I remember reading a book called Strangers in the Sky, which is an old classic Trek novel, and it talks about after people discovered what dilithium was, museums started basically like digging into their own exhibits and finding that they had dilithium with them all the time, and they were picking dilithium up and basically like selling it and making what they needed to run for like years and years and years.
Oh, wow.
I like that.
That's kind of a cool thing.
Yeah, I do
Just
like that.
the fact that it's been here all this time and we just never knew.
It is human nature, though. If they find it, there's two ways they're going to do with dilithium. They're going to see if they can turn it into a medication, in case people have erectile dysfunction, or they'll exploit it to try to sell it. Like, that's human nature, right?
Yeah. True. That's true. I always thought like Michael was saying that the antimatter and matter, because I was remembering like the first season of Enterprise, where they kept talking about matter and antimatter rather than like dilithium crystals. So that made a lot.
Well, I think also we see that in the movie First Contact, where they go see Cochrane's ship, they go check on it, and they talk about it being nuclear powered.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Geek Filter just said.
Makes more sense what Geek Filter said, that he used a nuclear power core.
He used a nuclear power core. That's why he used a
Nuclear vessel.
Nuclear vessel.
Nuclear vessel.
Nuclear vessel.
Um,
Alameda.
Do
Well,
you have
there
any
you go.
theories then, or we're good?
We're good. I
We're
think
good?
we've answered it.
Yeah, all right. Let's go.
Thank you, John, for your question. And as Joe said, you've got a stupid Star Trek question. Send it to us, stupid people.
Yeah, you can hit us up
See?
on Twitter. I'm Joe Dove. And on our actually just comment on
no,
our YouTube.
why would you message Joe Dove? Message the actual show. all
Yeah,
right?
it's just message me.
You don't want to know what he does with messages, people. You really don't.
No, I'm actually.
Join us next week for more stupid Star Trek questions.
If you message me and then you're from someplace other than my state, I'm going to ask you a ton of stupid questions.
We know, don't we, Jason? We definitely know.
Oh, yeah. Well, I believe that brings us to the end, my friend. The end of the agony. Michael, you've been super champ, staying up so late, suffering through Haven, and now you probably watch it again to go to bed tonight.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you for finding me a cure for insomnia.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Thank you for joining us. It's always good. And be sure to check them out on the Nerdy Up North, Star Trek.
Yes.
Those two guys are amazing together. They just recently interviewed our mutual friend, Sean Farrick, who ended up getting
really
a
good interview.
Yeah, it was a very good interview.
Oh,
And they have a lot more to do in the Star Trek realm. So be sure to follow them. And if you're going to Trek Long Island, be sure to hang out with us. Say hello to Nita and myself. Get a T-shirt. Get a hug. You can get peed on by Teddy. You know, all those wonderful things.
I'm glad you added Teddy on there. I was worried for a minute.
You can get whoa for Teddy. Oh,
And this is the time I regret we filmed this live because there was a perfect edit there, wasn't it?
Cut that out, weirdo. No, Teddy. And make sure to check out the adventures that we have later on and this week. We will share them because we'll be videoing as much as we possibly can. There's going to be panels. There's going to be fun. And then next year we will be on. And we'll get into more detail as the time comes closer.
Ooh.
Ladies and gentlemen, until next time, enjoy the agony. Check out SpectrumSanctorum.net for all of our podcast merch. We have an entire merch store ready to give you all the things that you loved about our podcast. And get notified on all of our socials: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and our Spectrum Sanctorum merch store. Follow us today and be sure to hit that bell when you're watching our YouTube videos so you can be notified of when a new episode releases.